The Detroit Sports Sit Down. My name is Tom Murphy Jr. I'm here with Joe Perry and Dan Murphy, and we're here to talk about some Detroit sports. A lot going on. It is August 1st, and the trade deadline has come and gone. There's a lot of speculation about what the Tigers were going to do, and they made a couple moves, and we are going to talk about them. First off, though, let's get right into this, Joe. Let's get right into this Al Avila audio clip. Let's hear what he has to say first about the trade deadline situation that just completed.
Are you satisfied, or do you feel like you left something on the table?
Well, you're never satisfied. You're always continuing to add, and obviously our scouts did a great job for the last 6 to 8 weeks. They've been traveling all over the country, scouting minor league talent. Our analytics department did an outstanding job putting it all together. We've been traveling with the team. We've been at home. We set up our boards with the teams that had targeted our guys, and we had targeted with all the players ranked. It was a long, drawn-out process. So we're happy with the return we got. Like I've been saying, we're chipping away. We're chipping away through trades by trading some of the guys that we can trade when we can, adding talent little by little when we can, and now we'll continue to move forward in this process.
All right, so that was Detroit Tigers general manager Al Avila discussing the trade that went down with the Chicago Cubs. Obviously, we gave away our closer, Justin Wilson, who was, quite frankly, other than Yu Darvish and Sonny Gray, probably the top commodity that people really wanted. Rumored speculation, all that. There was 10 to 12 teams that were bidding for Justin Wilson. Dan, I'll start with you. Did Al Avila screw up again, or do you think he did his due diligence and he got the most he could possibly get in this trade?
I think this was a good trade. From all experts, you saw the reports going out. It was pretty positive in terms of the Tigers' direction. It was kind of viewed as both teams got.
Well, I already got to cut you off there. I'm sorry, but I saw a report. At least one person on ESPN gave the Cubs an A and the Tigers a C+ on this trade.
Most of the sites I saw kind of gave it both ways. That the Tigers got what they needed, Cubs got what they needed out of the deal. So, you can see it both ways. I threw out the Twitter or poll out there on Twitter. It's kind of about 60-40 favoring that. Were you happy with the trade? Were you happy with the value the Tigers got back? It was 60% favored it. We're happy with it, as opposed to the JD trade, which was just unanimously throughout just bashing the Tigers on that move. So This was a much better move than the JD move, and quite frankly, I'm pretty happy with the move.
What do you think, Joe? Did Al Avila? Did we even need to make these trades at this time? It seems like we're not even in a full rebuild now because Kinsler's still here, JV's still here. There were rumors about Iglesias possibly get traded. A lot of these guys, like the guys that we let go of, JD. Yeah, he's going to get paid next year. But Justin Wilson, he was under team control. It wasn't a huge contract. Like this wasn't like the three guys that we traded. It didn't seem like it was a huge salary dump though. Like where is the salary break here? Mm-hmm. Alex Avila was making peanuts compared to somebody like Verlander. So where's the salary dump here?
Yeah, I feel like they did the no-brainer trades. Of course we had to trade those three players, but I feel like you're right. They needed to dump some salary. They needed to try to get rid of a JV or even Kinsler or someone like that to try to rebuild. It doesn't seem like they're going to rebuild. We just only got, 5 guys. I think we needed to dump a lot more salary.
And that's where I'm at with this. And we're with the prospects are prospects. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly,
it's a crapshoot. It's like a lottery ticket. You never know. You could hit it big. You might not. I finally, the third baseman, Jaime. It was hard to say, man. Jaime Candelario. Jaime Candelario. Say that 10 times fast. But third baseman. So that's our second third baseman that we got now. So we got 5 middle infielders, where third base and shortstop really aren't the main things that we should even be looking for. So I guess, but I mean, we're rebuilding the farm system, and everybody knows Tigers farm system, blah blah blah, one of the worst. So just adding fuel to that fire is one thing, But my question is, where are the arms? Why didn't we trade for more pitchers, more young arms?
Because we have a lot of arms in our minor. That's what at least Avila is saying, is we need the middle infielders. So even Dan suggested that last show.
Yeah, we talked about we touched on it a little bit last show. Their top 3 prospects, Manning, Boo Burrows, and Alex Faedo, are all pitchers. Alex Faedo is their most recent draft pick. Those are the 3 top players in the system, are all pitchers. So they needed to get prospects in the infield. They needed to get position players in the system because they just didn't have it. Plus, you consider that Norris, Fulmer, Boyd, they're all very young. They're all under team control. So they have pitching in the system. They needed position players. Now, you can go look at it, well, why did they get all these third basemen? Maybe they could have gotten a couple outfielders. Yeah, that's true, but these were the best guys they could get. They were position players. And these were guys they needed to go out and grab.
And they wanted more athletic guys. I know that they were saying that they wanted more athletic guys. And you can play other positions in baseball. You can move to outfield as a infielder. Being 18 years old, 19 years old, you can learn other positions if you're a good athlete. And that's, I think, what they went after.
Now, at this trade deadline, there were 3 major starting pitchers discussed about getting moved. Yu Darvish, Sonny Gray. Well, Yu Darvish from Texas, Sonny Gray from the Oakland A's, and Justin Verlander. 2 of those guys got moved. 1 didn't. Does this bother you guys that JV did not get traded and these other 2 guys did?
I'm hugely disappointed.
Yeah.
I thought there was no doubt Verlander would get traded. I went to one of his last games because I thought he was going to get traded. He pitched against the Astros on that Sunday. I thought he wasn't going to pitch that game because I thought he was going to be traded by then, and he wasn't. It's a huge disappointment. I feel like the Tigers should have ate some of that contract and traded him for prospects. And if that, maybe more details are going to come out, but if that was a huge sticking point that the Tigers wouldn't eat more of the contract to move him to get prospects, then I have a huge problem with that. Because we did this before when Dombrowski was here. We had Prince Fielder. We thought, no way in hell that contract could be moved. And it was moved. The reason it was moved, because the Tigers ate a bunch of the contract. But it was well worth it because they got Ian Kinsler back. And Ian Kinsler ended up being a Gold Glover all-star for them. They should be doing the same thing with Verlander. I don't know if they're going to get an MLB all-star like Ian Kinsler, but they should be able to get some prospects. And the team I'm looking at, and I'm just as mad at them as I am as the Tigers, is the Houston Astros. They did not go out and get a stud starter. Yeah. They went out and got Francisco Liriano, whose ERA is near 6.
And that's a team. That's an interesting team to think about right now because they were basically in the basement for 3-4 years, and then they've been going through the process, and now look at them. They're the top team in the American League, but you're right, they didn't make a major move, and they saw the man that they should have got on Sunday.
Exactly.
Why did they? Now what is this though? What are the Tigers doing right now? What is the plan? Is it going to be a salary dump, full rebuild, and then you're looking at 2, 3, 4 years of doing a rebuild, or are they making these little minor moves, thinking that next year they're going to be right back in contention?
Well, you heard Avila in the clip. He said we're going to chip away. We're going to do moves where we can. You don't need to chip away. You need to take a freaking sledgehammer to this thing.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Not necessarily in the division that they're in.
But it's not about winning division. You got to win it all. I mean, I know if you get there, you can win it all. If you make the playoffs in baseball, it's one of those leagues. But still, you need to be a powerhouse, and just to do what they did, just to chip away, like you said, it's not going to do it.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Without
I don't.
big contracts.
They need.
I'm a little. That's what I'm saying. I'm a little confused. I feel like the Tigers are like. They're like Frogger. You know, for you millennials, you might not know what Frogger even is, but it's like they're in the middle of the street right now, and they don't know what their next move is, so they're doing like parallel moves because they're scared to step back, but they're scared to move forward, and they're just stuck in this purgatory of not knowing how to advance or how to scale back. So they're just making parallel moves. Because what benefit do we like? I feel so just about this trade deadline situation and with this whole Tigers organization right now, and straight from the top, like where I would love to hear Chris Ilitch speak. I don't believe true. I've ever heard his voice.
Think he was on before the season on opening day, and that was it. Haven't heard him since.
Where is the mindset right now? Are we a major market? We're not New York. We're not LA, but we're the Detroit freaking Tigers. You know, Ty Cobb, Al Kaline, Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell. Like, we're the Detroit Tigers, man. Like, we're not the Oakland A's. You know, we're not the San Diego Padres. We're the freaking Detroit Tigers, all right? So are we, but also the Detroit Tigers have not won a World Series since 1984. It's a long freaking time. So where are we? Are we now just a subdivision of a pizza chain? Or are we a baseball team who's going to try to win? And honestly, I don't know.
They need a complete rebuild. I can't say it enough. I've already accepted the fact that this was going to happen, that they were going to go through a complete rebuild, and I don't think the organization's ready for it to accept it. I don't think most of the fan base is ready to accept it, but it needs to be done. They need to trade Verlander. They need to trade Kinsler. They need to trade all these stars that are anybody over the age of 30 needs to be gone. And they have to have a complete rebuild, a complete restart of this whole thing. Because otherwise, we're just going to be watching these star players just deteriorate. They get worse and worse as they continue to play under 500 baseball and not go anywhere. And this rebuilding process is going to take longer and longer and longer, and it's just going to be totally depressing and you're going to continue to lose ratings in television. You're going to continually lose ticket sales. Just deal with it for 2 to 3 years and do a complete rebuild. And by 3-4 years from now, you'll be right back where you've been, and you're going to have a full team of young stars ready to take over.
How do you guys feel about just the other day when Michael Fulmer, our 24-year-old ace, our new ace, he's the new JV 2.0 over here with Michael Fulmer, and he pretty much came out and said, like, look, if we're gonna do the rebuild, if this is the route we're going, I'm paraphrasing here, but if this is the route we're going, then you need to burn it down. You need to burn it down and start up and rebuild around me. Do you think that Michael Fulmer should have been traded?
No.
Do you think that he's right when he's in a room full of veterans, future Hall of Famers, mind you, and he says, burn it down?
The fact that he is willing to say that tells me he's ready to be the leader, and he's ready to take over and be the ace and be the star of this franchise and be the star of this team.
Was that his role? Was that his place to say that? To make a comment like that? Joe, what do you think?
I don't think so, like, at this point, but like he says, that does show leadership. That does definitely show leadership. And
he would leadership is one thing, but he was only he was Rookie of the Year last year. Mm-hmm. Is he in a place to stand up and say, "Hey, Victor Martinez, you need to get out of here"? Miggy, it's time for you to sit down.
It's not like
JV, it's time for you to hit the road, buddy.
He was just asked. He was just asked the question, and he answered it.
He answered it
he answered it honestly and how he felt, and he's right. They shouldn't half-ass this. Mm-hmm. Either you're going to go all in with this team, with this veteran team, with Verlander and Cabrera and Victor Martinez and these guys, and you're going to go out and buy or stand pat, or you're going to be in a rebuilding process, which is what they've said they're going to be. They want to get cheaper, they want to get younger, they want to get more athletic. Then fine, go with that plan and go full out with it.
Yeah.
Don't half-ass this, which is what they did.
So we don't, and that's, I think that's where we're at. I think that's what I'm saying. We're in this middle of the road kind of thing. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a clear plan with this Tigers organization, and I think there's just a lot of fumbling and bumbling from the top down.
And Tom, you saw it right at the beginning of the year. They came out and said that they were going to do this, and they made it seem like they're going to rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the only thing they
did,
he
just showed his
the
ass.
Only thing they did, the only thing they did was trade Cameron Maybin.
Yeah.
So they made that trade.
They made that trade
to cut $9 million. That's the only reason they did it. You thought, okay,
and
when they made that move, it was just a straight payroll cut for $9 million. You thought, no, crap. Okay, I guess this is what it is now. We're in rebuild phase. We're going to get rid of everybody. So I accepted that as a fan when he made that move and didn't do anything else. I said, okay, this is what we're doing. And then they didn't do anything.
Sense and then he said, either, because Cameron Maybin was a solid center fielder. He was an everyday guy. He was just, I really liked Cameron Maybin.
Yeah.
And I did not understand that move.
Because they didn't have a plan and they didn't realize that they weren't going to get as much for these players as they thought they would. They thought they were going to get a lot more for Verlander. They thought maybe if they put Cabrera out there,
people were just going to be rolling out money bags to these guys.
These general managers and these teams have gotten so much smarter and realized that if you got young players under team control, why are you trading them for these older players that are only going to get worse? When you got young players under team control for really cheap that are going to continue to get better and enter their prime. It makes no sense to trade these guys.
Mm-hmm. Especially that they cost a lot as well. Like Verlander's contract. I remember we talked about that before. We didn't put a recorded show, but I told you it's going to be hard to get rid of Verlander. I didn't think anybody would take him.
It's going to be hard. Well,
They could have got.
You got to eat. Now, you don't have to eat the whole thing. Even you could eat half of it. Eat half the contract to save yourself it, and then give this man who's earned the right to spend the twilight of his career chasing a World Series ring. And if this is the road the Tigers are going down, and we're going to be in the basement for 2, 3, 4 years, God forbid 5 or 6, do not disgrace Justin Verlander by keeping him here.
Yeah,
somebody wants Justin Verlander. A lot of teams want Justin Verlander, but maybe you didn't even overpay. The contract was because the old saying goes, you pay stars for what they did, not what they're gonna do.
I don't agree with that.
You shouldn't.
But it's what
it's
not logical, but it's reality.
And the smart teams stay away.
The smart
from
teams don't do that.
So, but Justin Verlander does not deserve, and he should demand to not be on a team stuck in some kind of middle purgatory, maybe rebuild, maybe do whatever. I don't even know what they're doing right now, but
chipping away.
He does. Yeah, chipping away. Chipping away at what? Chipping away at mediocrity, man.
Pretty much.
Justin Verlander does not deserve that, man. He gave his heart and soul, and man, he gave his heart and soul here, and he deserves to spend the twilight of his career at a team that is in contention, let alone a team that can go win a ring. And somebody's going to want him. Somebody will take on 60% of that contract, even maybe. Like what? So what? I don't even know. All right, so let's think about this now. So the trade deadline is over.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing, baseball is kind of weird with how their trade deadline works because guess what? The trades are not over yet. We got a little thing called the waiver wire, and nobody's picking up Justin Verlander's contract just for nothing. So, would the Tigers have the audacity, or would it just be a smart move to put Verlander on the waiver wire? See what if Houston does say, you know what, screw it, we're gonna go grab Verlander right now, and we're just gonna pay this man his money. That'd be interesting. But so what I'm asking is, the waiver wire deadline comes up, and that's what, late August, I think.
Yeah, the end of August, last day in August.
Last day in August.
It's been a whole month.
So you put Verlander up on waivers. Somebody might jump at Verlander. Probably not though. But so if he clears waivers, he's tradable again.
Yes.
Is this something that might happen?
Those were reports going out today. Peter Gamos threw out that tweet earlier this morning. Said that 3 GM said that that's the biggest name out there that might go out on the waivers is Justin Verlander. So the opportunity is still there.
Is there somebody that would just take him?
I can't see it, and I can't see honestly, I don't see the Tigers just giving him away. I think that's the whole problem here is they want prospects. They don't want to just give their players away. That would
apparently
really
Al Avila wants you to take the whole contract and give your number one prospect.
Yeah.
I think
that's
he's Justin Verlander, but it's not 2008, buddy. Yeah. He didn't just throw a no-hitter. So, he's thrown a few no-hitters. He's pitched some amazing games. Just ask the Oakland A's how good Justin Verlander is.
Especially in the
playoffs.
Even
the playoffs.
Even when he's having a bad year, he steps into the playoffs and it's go time.
Now, could it be worth what it would be 2.5 years, 50-something, 60-something million dollars for the Houston Astros to go just go take Justin Verlander?
If a team puts a waiver claim on him, the Tigers have the opportunity to take him back. So it's not like they just get him.
I couldn't imagine the Tigers. I think the Tigers would say, "Okay, Houston,
if the Tigers are in that situation,
if you want to take this, you want to take his $70 million."
That is a PR nightmare to say, we just gave away Justin Verlander for absolutely nothing.
You gave him away for $70 million that you're saving.
You're saving that money, but you're not getting anything in return. You're not getting any prospects in return. So that would be the true essence of a salary dump in every sense of the word, because you're just giving him away for nothing, but you're getting out of the contract. I don't see that happening. I don't see a team putting a waiver claim out there for him. I think he clears waivers, and then this whole discussion starts again.
What if Darvish walks out tomorrow afternoon and gets struck by a car?
Well, I think
I see
where you're going
with
Tom.
The Dodgers.
The better situation. The better thing I would go with that is what if Kershaw's back is worse than it is.
Oh,
and
he can't come back.
He can't come back, and they realize that's a situation where maybe the Dodgers step up and maybe make a move. But I don't really see them doing that either because they've already, they already sent their prospects out to get Darvish. So I don't really see that either. I think it's got to be the Astros. I mean, the Astros got to see the writing on the wall here, and they got to go out and make that move because the Kansas City Royals did it. All their players finally came up together. They all entered their prime, and they said, "Okay, this is our chance. Let's go out and do it." And they went out and got Johnny Cueto, and they went out and got Ben Zobrist, and they went out and won that World Series.
Yeah.
I see the Astros kind of in that same situation. All these young players are coming together. They're all coming together at the same time. The Astros are clear-cut one of the top teams in the American League. They're running away with their division. The time is now for them, and they got to come together with the Tigers. Let Verlander clear waivers. You'll have a month, a couple weeks to talk together, figure out what you want to do, discuss how much you want the Tigers see to the contract, and get the deal done. I think it makes sense on the Astros' part. It makes complete sense on the Tigers' part. Let's see if it happens.
That's a big if it happens.
Yeah, sure is.
I would like to see that, though, definitely.
Yeah. All right, well, it is August 1st, and I want to start talking about football. When we come back, we're going to talk football. This is the Detroit Sports Sit Down.
Tori Petrie here on the second day of training camp practices here at Allen Park, and I am joined by NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, who is coming out to watch practice today. Ian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first off, I got to ask you about yesterday's deal with Glover Quinn. Team signed him to an extension. What was your impression of that move?
Yeah, to me it was a no-brainer, and it's a good deal financially. I think it makes sense for both sides. 2 years, $13 million, gets Glover a lot of money up front, which I know is something that's important to every player. But it's the kind of thing really that can send a message in the locker room. I mean, this is a guy besides great playmaker, very productive, good guy, does everything right. I think it's important to show the other guys on the team, like, if you do everything right, do things how it's supposed to be done, you're going to get rewarded for it. So, like, the money is nice and all of that, but the message is sent to everyone else in the locker room, to me, is just as important.
I think he's also kind of underrated as his value to this defense. I mean, he's a pretty big part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. And, he's sort of been, for whatever reason, undervalued through a lot of his career. I mean, he was a great player early on in Houston, then moved up here and has made a lot of plays, and has been sort of a spark plug, but for whatever reason, maybe because the position he plays, hasn't gotten a lot of national attention. But I think anyone who knows him and just watches him on the field knows how important he is to this defense. And there's going to be a lot of new pieces. I mean, Jared Davis is another guy I know Lions fans should be really, really excited about. But Glover Quinn is one of the guys that really helps make it go.
All right, since we're talking contracts, there's obviously a big one people are thinking about. When do you think that Matthew Stafford deal is going to get done?
To me, there's a couple of things. First of all, I think with Stafford and with the Lions, it's obvious everybody wants it to get done. I know he wants to be here long term. I know the team wants him to be the quarterback for as long as it's going to be, for a very long time. These are hard, complicated deals to do, and they sort of have a life of their own. Derek Carr's deal, similar, got done in the middle of July or early July, and that was kind of weird, but that's when it ended up happening. This one, if you look at the history of Tom Condon, his agent, when he tends to do these big deals, a lot of times it's closer to the start of the regular season. So, I know Stafford came out and talked about it a couple of days ago. We're all going to want to talk about it, but I would be surprised if it happens quickly. I would expect, much, much closer, probably into September rather than into August.
Why do you think this is one that will take so long to negotiate?
Well, just because you're talking about the stakes are so high, the money we're talking about, probably going to end up at or, more than the highest paid player, being the highest paid player in the NFL. And, these negotiations, they take a lot of thought. Nothing is done knee-jerk. I think when fans think about it or even media think about it, you're saying, you assume it's negotiations are done, two sides arguing over the phone. It's really, you send a proposal, everyone ponders. A week later, maybe you send another one back. I mean, these things take time, and deadlines end up making these things go. And the first real deadline here is the start of the regular season.
How do you think the Derek Carr deal influences this one?
Really it sets the benchmark. So, Carr's making $25 a year. Would be surprised if Stafford would make less than that. And the way these quarterback contracts work, it's basically who's next. Who's the next highest paid. Stafford's an obvious franchise quarterback. He's already been paid, but I think it's pretty clear he's going to be paid again.
So fans shouldn't be concerned that it hasn't happened yet.
No, I would have been very surprised if it had happened already. To me, and I know we're all talking about it, and I'm going to do TV, and I'm going to talk about it today. These things always take a lot longer than everyone thinks. So, if I'll say this, if it happened early, someone's getting a bad deal. Either the Lions or Stafford, someone's getting a bad deal. If it happens later, then usually both sides will be a little happy, a little unhappy, and that means it's fair.
All right, well, that's good insight on the Stafford contract. But let's talk a little bit about camp. What are you going to be watching for out at practice today?
Well, I think there's a lot to look for. Stafford is one. It's fun to watch. I kind of wish Ebron was out here. Not going to get a chance to see him, but I hear Amir Abdullah's looked really good early. I'm curious to see kind of what he looks like. Jared Davis, the rookie first rounder, heard some really good things about him. Just as far as being a leader and starting to become the guy in this defense, what does he look like? I think that's going to be another. And Greg Robinson, he got beat up a lot in St. Louis and comes here with a fresh start and a much-needed player. Him and Kwanjo all of a sudden are key parts of this Lions present, what do they look like? I think those sort of things I'll be looking at.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy yourself out here at Lions Camp practice and on the rest of your training camp tour.
All right, thanks for having me.
You just heard a clip from Torrey Petrie, who covers the Lions, talking to NFL insider Ian Rappaport. And a lot of info there. The main thing, I don't know if it's the main thing, but of course Eric Ebron got hurt. Of course, man. When is this guy? Why did we draft him? He makes me so angry. This is supposed to be the big year for him. He's coming to blah, 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 and he's hurt. On day, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. He's already hurt, and it makes so much sense.
Is that the
it's
really
just-
important news, Tom? Or maybe
for me,
Glover
it's just
Quinn?
it's the most annoying news for sure, but the most unsurprising news. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm all flustered now.
Yeah, you are.
Ebron, and I know Ebron's gonna hear this too. Ebron's a lot like Andre Drummond, man. They're like entitled millennial athletes
You're getting on
who
millennials.
feel like I know. Well, I found out the other day that I am actually one of the first millennials. I was one of the first people born in 1980.
So you're bashing yourself.
And, yeah, I am barely hanging out.
I'll
as a
agree
millennial.
with you, Tom.
Either way, I am. It's just, God. Of course, I'm just saying. Of course, he's hurt. Okay, but now that's out. Okay, Ebron aside, I'm sure he'll come back. He'll be right there on opening day to drop 3rd and 1 passes.
He'll be there for you to drop
He'll be
passes.
right there to drop his passes.
He'll be back and ready to go to drop passes
Yes,
just for us.
He sure will.
They don't need Aaron Donald anyways.
Yeah.
He's the best defense tackle in the league.
Wow, he's holding out, man. Who wants to play for the Rams anyway? But either way, though, listen. Okay, of course Eric Ebron's hurt. All right,
So what about-
that makes perfect sense. But let's really get into this though, because it is officially football season, ladies and gentlemen. Our Honolulu Blue and Silver are practicing. And it's football time.
You got a big
now.
old grin on your
I
face.
do.
all of a sudden.
Oh God, it's so big. 'Cause
After Ebron, now you got a grin. Now you're
know.
thinking about
Well,
football.
it's still, it's still my Lions. I still love my Lions, and I think we're going to be better than a lot of these people are saying. You're getting all the early reports, all the early predictions, and then blah blah blah. And man, I'm hearing some stuff. Man, you got your a lot of people predicting the Lions going like 5-11, like barely like being better than the Bears, and I'm saying, hold up, man.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, wow, I'm not getting there yet. We were in the playoffs last year. We lost the last 4 games. If any one of those 4 games that we lost last year went different, it could have been a whole different scenario.
Well, if Matt Stafford doesn't hurt his finger, it could have been a whole different scenario too. That's
Oh,
when
yeah.
the downfall started.
Ah, of course. But, the past is the past. But I'm saying this team is not a 5-11 team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a second-year left tackle getting hurt changes everything. Or am I wrong?
Well, that is one of the biggest flaws of the Lions for the last 2 years is the running game.
Yeah.
They've been 30th and 32 the last 2 years, and you need a running game.
But
so
it
it hurts us.
We
big
stocked
time.
up. We stocked up,
We did.
but we did not expect Decker, our guy that was supposed to be the anchor of this new improved superstar top 5 offensive line, to rip his shoulder up, or So, but that's the line. That's the curse of Lions, whatever.
That's
Bobby
football.
Lane, screw you, man. Screw you, Bobby Lane.
That's football.
I thought this thing was supposed to be done, though,
It's
man.
supposed to be.
Like this is like year 52, right?
Yeah, this is
Just
past
since the
this
curse.
is past the 50-year curse.
well, we
Yeah.
made the playoffs last year, so we're headed, right?
Well,
Yeah,
we
they're just back to where they always
backed
were.
right into the
Mediocre.
playoffs, man. We got shoved in a garbage truck and got dumped into the playoffs last year. But yeah, we did make the playoffs. But no, like
There we go. There's our luck. Our Lions' luck is getting
Yeah.
out there. We backed into the playoffs. Yeah, we had some luck at
all right,
the end.
let me slow this train down, all right? Because it is, and this is the best time of year. It's not the Lions Super Bowl. It's not the draft. We're a few months past that. It's training camp now, and our biggest thing is who is gonna replace Decker? Who is gonna protect the blind side for Matt Stafford?
That's the thing. It's journeyman, and never was. Guys coming in to try to protect his blind side. I mean, it's scary. I mean, the left tackle is so important. It's so important,
Now,
especially
can't
for a
I-
right-handed quarterback, because he protects the blind side.
can't why not switch Wagner to the left? Is it that now, Dan? You played offensive line. Now, Clawson High School is not the Detroit Lions.
It's close.
But yeah, it is kind of close.
It was during the Millen years. It was 0-16. Clawson football couldn't win out there and win 0-16.
You might have put up 25 points on them, man, at the time. But listen, in all reality, how do we go about this? Like, what happens? Like, we need, a left tackle. And we need somebody to do it now. Why not? How difficult would it to be to have a veteran switch from the right side to the left side? Is it that? I don't want to get too technical, but
it does affect you. I mean, especially if you've played right tackle your whole career, and then you're asked to move to the left side, it's a little bit different. But
what is the difference? I mean, other than the symmetry of it, once going blocking from with your technique,
your footwork's going to be a little different, especially
completely
in pass protecting. It's a little. I mean, he probably could switch if he needed to, but it would probably decrease his value a little bit. I mean, a little bit. But then you're going to just be worried about your right side. It's not going to change. You're still going to have a tackle out.
Look, though, I think you got to have somebody. Obviously, you got to protect the blind side. Obviously, that's so important. But if you do take a veteran that you just signed and you switch them to that and say, look, man, this is where we need you. We just gave you millions. And something happened and things have changed and we need you here now.
And that could
you
happen.
need to step up and do it.
We just started training camp. So, I mean, something like that could happen. If the left tackle situation becomes really dire, maybe that's a situation where they do switch them. If it becomes really bad, Stafford's getting drilled, or he's not going to get hit in practice, obviously. But if they could see that where that's going to be a problem, they could make that switch. They could. But right now, if you can plug somebody in right now just to get you by, and he can, somebody you can plug in to be okay, then you got your right side of the line is really, really, really strong with Wang and Wagner, and maybe you'll be able to.
I'm so excited about TJ Lang being on this team. I'm telling you, I think that's going to be his leadership. He's been in so many important games. For one, he's a Super Bowl champion. For two, he's been in so many important games, and he's been a major contributor to protecting and adding to the career of quite possibly one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. With TJ Lang obviously being in Green Bay protecting Aaron Rodgers. He can bring so much to this team, I think. Am I wrong? Football is a young man's game. But how much do you think leadership and experience can bring to this situation that we have on the offensive line?
I think a lot, because it's an ultimate team game. It's just so different in football. There's just so much to it, that they need to learn. So I think it really helps having him, with all the other offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I think it does help, but I'll be honest, I think it is a little bit overrated. Especially with a team like this, with the Lions, they've been to the playoffs. I mean, it's getting over that hump, but I think they have that leadership with Stafford. I think they have the leadership. I know you're going to get mad at me, Tom, but we've seen what he's done late in games and close games. He takes that team on his shoulders and leads them down the field and leads them to game-winning drives and game-winning touchdowns.
And you know what I do? I remind you of the first 3 quarters. A lot of those games last year, they shouldn't have been in those situations where he needed to lead them back if he would have not thrown 2 interceptions in the second quarter of such and such game, whatever. But look, I'm not here to trash Stafford. I'm here to wonder, where can we go this season with the and it's tough, man. How much pressure are you even putting on a second-year player when you just got 2 veterans to the right side of your line, but your left tackle just went down. Like, what is actually more important? The second-year left tackle, or the two brand new all-pro linemen that you just put on your right side?
Well, I think we talked about it earlier. I mean, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? I mean, and we got to see how long Decker's out. If he ends up being out the whole year, I mean, this could be a crushing blow. If he's only out,
they're saying reports and he might be
6 games,
come back quicker than people expected. But man,
and that first half of the schedule is brutal.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's brutal.
Monday night, do week 2 Monday night in New York. Like how much bigger can that get? For a week 2 game. Like, good God.
Falcons week 3.
So I mean, dude, what? It's funny as a Lions fan because we've seen 0-5 in the first 5 games, but we've also seen 5-0.
Yeah.
Captivated by a week 5 Monday Night Football game against the Bears where Javid Best just lost his mind on Monday Night Football, and we beat the Bears. It was one of the greatest days of my life.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Fantasy, so I like
oh Lord. So, like, as a Lions fan, we all know how important. Like, because shoot, the first 2 weeks, man, it's few and far between for playoff teams that start out 0-2. It happens, but it's few and far between. And so you're talking about 2 weeks. You lose the first 2 games of your season, you are in a hole that is hard to get out of. And our left tackle is down.
Possibly 6 weeks, right? First 6 weeks?
Shoot, 6, 10, 12, the season.
Who knows?
Oh, my God, man. Depending on how you ask,
it's going to be the DeAndre Levy situation all over again.
All right,
he's day to day and ends up being season to season.
Which we just released.
No, I hope that. But this guy, man, as much as, dude, he's from Ohio State, so he's already got a bad check mark on him. So let's not have him be an injury-prone guy from OSU, all right?
Yeah.
Let's hope not. But, no, I think this dude's tough as nails, and he's young. He's young. He's strong, he's big, and he's a gamer. I think he'll man, if he can come back week 5, week 6, and we can be 500. Survive.
500.
Win 2-3 games of those 5 or 6 or 7 or.
If they can get that first 8 games, is brutal. If they can, and they're going to be, like you said, they're going to be out their left tackle. But if they can somehow survive and get to 4-4, and come out of that first 8 games at 500, then you get excited. You can start thinking if Decker comes back and then they get rolling, the schedule gets easier. They can make a run, but. You could also see him going 2-6, 1-7 in those first 8 games too. So,
and then our whole sports dynamic is shot, man. Like, because all we got right now is the Lions. That's all we got.
From the pro perspective,
how does that make you guys feel, man?
Bad.
Like,
that makes me feel
the
bad.
Lions are our best chance to win a championship in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that sucks. It makes me feel pretty crappy to be a
And
Detroit
the
fan.
Best sports town in America.
Yeah. We used to have the Pistons, the Red Wings.
We used to.
Not anymore. Those were the good old days.
Oh, that's frustrating, man. I get frustrated just talking about it. But I'm also kind of happy, because it is football season, ladies and gentlemen. And it is here upon us. And there's a lot going on. And there are reasons to be excited about this team. Is one player, man, this is a 52-man roster. It's now one man. All right.
But what about that one man that's scaring me a little bit? It's not getting that contract, Mr. Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
It's starting to. The longer it takes, the more and more I get nervous. Just
like Dan, I gotta tell you posted up on Facebook that little meme where there's a woman in a bed laying next to her man. The woman is kind of looking on opposite end, and the man is kind of looking on the other opposite end, and the woman's thought process is, I bet he's laying there thinking about another woman. And the man is laying there thinking, why hasn't Matt Stafford signed this contract yet? And it was so funny. It is so funny. It is so true too. I'm not saying I lay in bed at night.
You probably do.
Well, yeah, maybe a little bit. Because I am why? Because I'm saying, we talked about this last episode, but not much has changed since last episode.
No, it's
with
the
this thing.
same. Yeah.
And so, why hasn't he signed his contract? And I'm screaming the same thing. Sign the damn contract, man. Be a leader, man. Ford is paying you a ton of money, man. You're riding in those trucks all summer, getting commercial, man. You're probably getting more off those commercials than you are from your NFL contract. Sign the damn thing. Show you're a leader. Make it work.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree, man. They got to get this thing done.
We have
to.
What are the Lions doing, by the way? What's the hold up for the Lions? You trying to save your pennies on?
There's a salary cap, man. Like we talked about last episode, man. You want to save as much as you possibly can. As much as you possibly can.
Why isn't it getting done? If it's between $1 or $2 million? Of course, if me and you were arguing over $1 or $2 million, Dan, yeah, that's a big problem because we don't make a lot of money compared to $1 or $2 million. If me and you had to argue about $1 or $2 million, it's going to be an argument, possibly a murder. If we're talking about $1 or $2 million, right? If it's Matt Stafford and it's the Detroit Lions, why are they arguing over what amounts to pennies?
Well, you saw. I heard from Matt Stafford today. He doesn't even get involved. He completely stays out of it.
That's what they all say. They all say that. Everyone. Yes.
I think it's true though, man. With Stafford, I don't think he's really getting involved with it. He lets his agent take care of it, and he's probably told his agent, "Give me as much money as I possibly can," and I don't want to deal with it.
Well, why? See, okay. Right there, though. Why doesn't Matt Stafford say, look, I'm rich. Get this done.
I don't know, man. It's easy for us to say from our standpoint where we, what, $1 million, $2 million, whatever, just go ahead and get it done. But from their standpoint, it's, they got people in their ear. They got people telling them. They got the Players Association telling them get as much money as you possibly can because that means more for everybody. There's a whole lot more to it than just simply, Stafford's great. He's just trying to get every dollar. Why can't the Lions just get this done? But he's your best player. If you don't have him, it's, your franchise is going to be garbage again. It's just so much more to it than that.
Well, I disagree when you say there's so much more to it. I don't think there's a lot more to it. I don't. I think the Lions have a number. I think Stafford's agent has a number, and they're arguing to get who's ever going to get the leverage, and it doesn't make sense to me because I don't think there's a lot more to it. I think one has a number, the other has a number, and it's who's going to give first.
But, they want to save the extra couple $1 million so they can get extra players.
And don't you think Stafford has
but
a left tackle who just went down? Don't you think that he would be like, hey, look, how about we take a little bit less and we go get me somebody that's going to not get me killed?
No, I agree with that. But these players,
I don't understand. How's that not the logic?
I agree with you, Tom. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
I know.
To take both sides.
I know.
If it were me, if I was in that situation, I'm taking a good contract, a good give me some good guaranteed money, and let's go play football, man.
Yeah.
Give me a good contract comparable to everybody else, and if we can save a little bit of money, let's go get some better free agents.
And it's not just about Stafford, his agent, and the Lions front office, because who's getting asked? Golden Tate gets asked about Matt Stafford every 15 minutes. I bet just now on Twitter, somebody just tweeted at Golden Tate, what do you think about Matt Stafford? And I bet in 5 minutes, it's going to happen again. Like,
It's going to become a distraction.
like so. Of course it's gonna. So like, if you're Matt Stafford, you've been here 8-9 years. What I lost count. I don't even know or care anymore. You've been here forever. You know all about what it is to be a Detroit Lion. I can't believe you haven't been hit by a bus yet since you're a Detroit Lion. Like, because that's how like life as a Detroit Lion player or a fan works. As a matter of fact, sometimes you do get hit mowing your lawn if you're a Detroit Lion.
That's brutal.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Horrendous.
God rest his soul. Hurricane will say. But, like, oh, it's not even funny. Oh, I'm a terrible person. It's fine, though. But this
Life
is
is a lion.
That is the life of a Lion. Fan, player.
This will be his 9th season. So
Jesus,
you're right
yeah,
there.
so,
You're
yeah.
right.
Going into his 9th season, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Just get the deal done and be an effing leader. Like, show the other people how it gets done.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's never going to be a bigger contract. And you're in the mix. Guess who you are, Matt Stafford? You are number 3 now. Barry Sanders, iconic, quit the day before training camp because he just couldn't take it anymore and he knew it was going nowhere. Calvin Johnson just quit, retired, done, couldn't handle it. So this is where you're at, Matt Stafford. You're the Lions legend now, and you have 2 choices, basically. Do you want to break the chain? Do you want to break the cycle? Do you want to be the man that becomes the most glorified legend in Detroit sports history and bring this team to that another level? Or is it just going to be more disappointment? Are you going to drag this out? This contract situation, are you just going to drag it out for what, another $1 million, another $2 million,
To get everything you can.
What like at this point, you make so many millions. What's another 1 or 2? What is the holdup here? Let me say this right. I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. Like, because you got to get every dollar you're worth. You know, you do. You got to get your worth. But at the same time, you're the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. And it's time for you to step up, tell your agent, get this done. I'm here. I am the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and I'm going to lead this team to greatness. And I tell you what, if Matt Stafford does lead this team to greatness, does lead this team to a Super Bowl at some point, there is no price tag that you can put on that. Not here, not in Detroit.
He would overtake Steve Yzerman as the greatest athlete in the history of Detroit sports, which I never thought there could be a player that could do that. But if he takes the Lions to the Super Bowl and wins a Super Bowl, he would be the greatest Detroit sports athlete of all time.
I've been saying this, and I stand by it. And you could take the 1968 World Series, the 1984 World Series, the 88-89 NBA championship, the 89-90 NBA championship, all 4 Stanley Cups. Take all of those, roll them into a ball, and multiply it by 1 million. And that's what you get if the Lions win a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford has a chance to lay it down right now and say, look, man,
I'm not all about the money.
I got money, and I'm going to get money. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. Just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's done, oh boy, you got to go produce now.
Yeah.
Even more than you ever have. Want to get hung up on just Matt Stafford because there's so many other intangibles going on with this team. We don't have a number 1 wide receiver. We have a left tackle who is out. We have a defense who our main guy, our middle linebacker, hopefully is a rookie. That scares you. Like think about that. I hope that our first round draft pick, Jared Davis, steps up and becomes the leader of our defense. And you're putting that on the shoulders of a 22-year-old who's never played a down in the NFL.
Man, all the things you're hearing, though, all the stories coming out of where he was in Florida, he was the leader, man. You're hearing things, hearing whispers. This could be next Ray Lewis. I mean, that's huge. That's huge.
Don't get me started.
It's huge pressure to put on a kid like that. But those are the type of things you're hearing about him. You know, he's that.
Good thing he's got some broad shoulders, man, because he's got the whole world on him right now, man. I want to go to camp. I'm going to make it a point to. I've never been to a Lions summer camp practice. I want to make it a point this year to get there because I want to see this kid. And there's so many, and that's what it is. With that's what I'm saying, man. Like Stafford, yeah, he's the quarterback. He's the leader. He's got his situation. But the other 51, and it's not, it's 52 on the roster, but there's, 90 in camp right now? Like, what do you got, 90? Is that what it is? Something like that? There's a lot of men in their locker room right now. I hope one of them could play left tackle. Do that there on you guys, man. Because honestly, man, what it all comes down to, the defense is going to be huge. And I want to get into this, though, too, man, is my man, Glover Quinn. He had a lot to say, and there was a lot of good things to say. I was so happy when we first got Glover Quinn.
Yeah, me too.
I watched the guy play in Houston. Yeah, you liked him too, Joe?
Yeah.
The guy is an all-pro, the guy's a stud. And I'm really happy that, and I think it says a lot about where the Lions are going when a guy like Glover Quinn says, this team, he wants to be here. He wants to help this team get to where they should be, and he wants to be a part of it. Because he didn't have to sign. He could have done all his holdout and this and that and force a trade, force getting out of it, whatever. He didn't. He says, I want to be here. Things are moving in the right direction. Let's roll.
We need more guys like that. We need more guys that want to be here and want to win. And, not just, it's all about money. That's what we need. We need to find more guys like Quinn,
Yeah.
And I think they're building towards that. I think Bob Quinn is the right guy for this job. And I really do. And I don't know if I said it last week, but the same way I felt when the Tigers got Dave Dombrowski, despite the Tigers have all those losing years, I'm like, this is going to turn around. This guy's a winner. This guy's from a winning organization. He's done it. He's turned teams around. He's built championships. And I felt the same way about Bob Quinn when the Lions got him. Like, this is the guy that's finally going to turn this thing around and really build a championship-level team here. And you're kind of seeing the building blocks of that. You're seeing really good drafts. You're seeing, fringe free agents come in here and perform. Where before you were getting big-name free agents and they'd flop. So they're building the way the Patriots did, and obviously that's the way to go in the NFL. They won 5 Super Bowls. I mean, you do it the Patriot way, and that's what the Lions are doing.
Do we have something here? I think there might be a T-shirt. Glover Quinn, Bob Quinn, Quinn can win. Quinn don't quit. I think,
start it up, man.
Is there something here, man? Quinn, win with Quinn.
Win with Quinn, yeah, like that one. There we go.
Quinn for the win.
Trademark, bitches. Don't steal our stuff. Win with Quinn, man.
Yeah, I like that one.
Win with Quins.
Win with the Quins.
I think we're here, man. Maybe it is. But it's funny, man. Like you said, man. Like you said earlier, Dan. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, man. It's the life of the Lions fan. Let's hope Taylor Decker can get back quickly. Quinn Lee Let's hope he can get back Quinley.
Oh gosh, is that a
Win
new
with
thing now?
Yeah, it is, man. I'm gonna roll with that. But let's hope he can get back. And we haven't brought him up yet, but I can't wait to talk about my man Amir Abdullah. Everybody wanted a running back. I didn't in this draft because I think we can. Quinn.
Okay,
I think we
I'm
can.
cutting you off.
I think we can
can't take it.
Quinn with Amir Abdullah. Nah, for real though. I really like Amir Abdullah.
I like his speed. I just if he can hold up, his speed, his quickness.
I mean, the biggest thing with the running back, with any running back ever, is can you hold on to the football and you can not get hurt. Well, he hasn't proven he can do either.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, let's give him another shot here.
He can catch the ball
it's
good.
well worth giving him another shot, and I think and
just hope he's on another drive at best, man. Where he shows all these glimpses of greatness, and it's just a shooting star.
Yeah.
Obviously it's not concussions like drive at best, but it's injuries. We'll see.
And it's what it is, dude. If you can't hold on to the football, then you're like NFL. Not for long. You will not be around. You can't fumble the football.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey. I brought it up before. I'll bring it up again. Tiki Barber, the man won a Super Bowl. He had a huge fumbling problem. Figured it out. Quite possibly a Hall of Famer. At least a Super Bowl champion. And, it happens. And these guys, man, these young guys, he's got all the talent, man. The talent's there with him, and I am a fan, and I am all about giving him a chance this season and seeing what he can do. And I'm telling you right now, my prediction is that he has a great year.
I hope you're right.
So you're gonna take him first in fantasy?
I will not be taking any Lions.
I hope you take him first in fantasy in my leagues.
In the first 4 to 5 rounds. I can promise you that. But no, man, if Abdullah's there, round 6, round 7, and I already got a real nice quarterback, and I already got a couple real nice wide receivers. Yeah,
no, I think he's definitely a potential player who could be good. I mean, he's got the hands, he's got the speed, he's got the quickness. Just like you said, he's got to hold on the ball and hold up,
man.
And Stafford, we're talking about Abdullah with injuries and his young career. Stafford was looked at as a China doll his first couple of years. I mean, he was getting hurt constantly.
He broke his collarbone, the first 2 years, right?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah. He was out the first 2 years, and then he's held up. Since then, hasn't been an issue. I mean, he tweaked his finger, at the end of last year, but I mean, for the most part, he's been healthy since those first 2 years. So
you better knock on wood there.
Absolutely. Let's hope the same.
I don't think it's a stretch to say a below-average offensive line.
No,
the last few years, God, a few years ago, man, the guy was just getting murdered, out there. I think it was the most sacked quarterback in the league. Yeah. Not too far off,
Yeah, he was 1 year for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. We love the Lions. We could talk about the Lions all day long, but there's something else that's really piqued my interest, and it has to do with our Detroit basketball. I don't know if any of you guys are listening and watching and checking out things that are going on in the NBA right now, but there's a lot going on, man. And one of the biggest things right now is this Kyrie Irving situation. Kyrie Irving does not want to play Robin to LeBron James' Batman anymore, and he has made that loud and very clear. And there's a very interesting trade proposal out there. It's not like something that's like super speculated, or it was just something that I'm not even sure who it was, but it was somebody from the four-letter network just proposed this out, and like the salary cap and all that, where all the dynamics work, and it's God, I don't know. Is it December 24th? Because because if it is, man, like, because I'm waiting on a Christmas present. Because if this could happen, man, just imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. We get the hell out of the contracts of Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond. Gone. Both those guys gone. Who do we get in return? Kyrie Irving. Can you guys even? All right, Dan, Joe. Could you even imagine this happening?
Oh, not a chance in hell. It's so awesome to think about.
Well, at least he's honest.
There's no way this happens. There's no way this goes down. And
the numbers are right.
The numbers are right. The contracts work out, and that's what ESPN kind of threw out. They threw out these. There was 5 different deals that they threw out that they wish could happen or possibly could happen because it'd be such a huge news story. And the contract, like you said, the contracts work out and the players kind of work out, but it's not going to happen. But it is awesome to think about Kyrie Irving with Bradley, and then in this trade, this proposal, you also get Tristan Thompson.
Oh,
and that's a big 3 right there, and that immediately puts the Pistons in the top 5.
I'm getting all excited just thinking about it, man. Just imagine that, dude. What? Oh man! All right, that is sports porn for me right now. Like, I feel like, oh god. Speaking of Javed Best and Lions, not to bring it back to the Lions, but when remember when the old Lions coach got all excited about Javed Best, and he was like, he's like I get excited when I watch Javed Best.
I think he said I get aroused.
Yeah, right, yeah, that was the aroused. Yeah, I get aroused when I watch Javed.
Who said that?
Oh,
one of the old Lions coaches?
It wasn't Jim Schwartz, was it?
It was Schwartz.
Oh, Schwartz?
Schwartz.
I remember if Schwartz.
Dude, Schwartz. His exact quote, I believe it was his exact quote, was, "I get aroused when I watch videos of Javed Best."
That's what it was. Yeah. I'm like,
that's a weird quote, but that's kind of how I feel when I think about this trade. Not only do you get rid of lung cancer and heart disease, but you get the fountain of youth. like seriously, man. Is like, oh my god, if we could trade Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond for Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson or Khloe Kardashian or whoever, because you get both. There's a package deal, I think, still. But we can get out of it.
We could have the Uptons and the Kardashians.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
There you go. I don't even care, though. I just want, dude, if you can get Kyrie Irving here and get rid of Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson at the same time, oh my god.
What were you telling me, though, about the video?
Harrison Barnes' wedding this weekend, and there's video going out there on social media with Stephen Curry kind of mocking LeBron James in his little workout video. And you got Kyrie Irving at that same wedding in that same video, kind of egging Stephen Curry on and really laughing about it. And it's really nailed, that video really nailed. It was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, about Kyrie really hammering down on. He does not want to be in Cleveland. He does not want to be second fiddle to LeBron. And
is it that, or does he just not like him?
well, I'm sure it's all of it. Do we put too much into what happens on social media? These little, it was a 30-second clip. I mean, are we putting too much? Like, these men are our friends. Like, look, I'm sorry, this isn't Bill Laimbeer and Kevin McHale. It's not 1988 anymore. These men don't want to murder each other. They are friends. All right, Get over it. They go to each other's weddings and all this and that. So they were at a wedding. Stephen Curry probably, maybe he did, maybe he didn't even know he was getting recorded. Kyrie Irving probably didn't know that he was getting recorded. I don't know. I can't speak for it. But do we put too much into what goes on social media? Like, you hear these uproars when an NBA player will just throw an emoji out. No words, no nothing, just a little emoji. And the social media stratosphere goes nuts, and they speculate on everything that it could possibly mean when it's just a 24-year-old kid shooting out an emoji or just like somebody just putting out a video of that with no explanation, no backstory, no nothing. Are we in an age where social media is just getting a little too crazy?
So you think we overreact on the internet? Is that the question?
Yeah, well,
of course, yes, we do. We overreact.
But I mean, should this Kyrie Irving thing be a story? Like, he was at a wedding with the enemy, and he was laughing about somebody else, Stephen Curry, mocking LeBron James. I mean, do you put too much into that, or is there something to read into that?
There's something to it when he's already said he wants out.
Yeah.
But he hadn't said that he wanted out.
He has.
I know he has. What I'm saying is, this wouldn't be as big of a story, this video, on social media, if there was no word of him wanting to leave Cleveland. If he hadn't already said he wants to leave Cleveland, I don't think this would be as
it'd be just guys joking around.
It'd be like, hey, we were just kind of joking around. We were talking about the video. No big deal.
Let me ask you this. Should Kyrie Irving be at a wedding of somebody who plays for the enemy? Would Bill Laimbeer be at Kevin McHale's wedding in 1989?
He probably wouldn't have been invited.
Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson were friends. They hate each other on the court, but they were friends off the court.
Yeah.
So I mean, you bring up the late '80s, early '90s, and those rivalries. Yes, they were.
Because I bring that up because I think that's when people bring up, that's when the heat on the court was at its most. Like, and there's a lot of talk today that like players today, and this isn't just in basketball. It's everywhere. Like, athletes today, like, especially when social media brings people together, and you didn't see this stuff, man. Like, you didn't see Charles Barkley hanging out with Michael Jordan in the casino at 4 a.m. the day before they were about to play each other at 7 o'clock at night that next day because they were in the same town together. But that stuff happened all the time. You didn't see it. It wasn't in your face like it is today. So, like, are these players softer today, or are we just seeing it more?
We're just seeing more. We're just seeing. I think they might. You could say they are a little bit softer, and the rivalries definitely aren't there like they used to be. But I think it's more of a case that we just see more. We see everything.
Well, we're seeing this video,
especially with the camera on your phone. You know, everyone's carrying
everybody's
camera.
recording everything.
Yeah.
A man will sit there and have a heart attack, and somebody would rather stand there and record it rather than help the man.
Oh, you're right.
Like, I mean, that's today. That's today. You know, that's how it is today. Whatever. But so, Kyrie Irving, was he in the wrong? Is he in the wrong for being here with the enemy mocking LeBron? And if he is in the wrong, because we're going back to this trade, which we all know we would love to see that trade. I think we're all in agreement with that. Like, that'd be amazing, right? Would you want Kyrie Irving to be your leader when it's now in his background that he has no problem going straight against his teammate, mocking his teammate with the enemy? Does Kyrie Irving now have a character flaw?
I would be more worried about
that.
That is an issue.
Very
but
good
I would
question.
be more worried about the fact that his team just went to the finals and he's out demanding a trade in the offseason. That's what I would be more concerned about.
Well,
a player like that.
I hear what you're saying. I think Kyrie Irving, though, knows that this ship is sailing with Cleveland. Cleveland is not getting any better. And LeBron James has not made a statement, has not solidified his contract. He's already being courted for next offseason. Do you think Kyrie Irving wants to see what went down again? It's like, he doesn't want to waste away his career in Cleveland in a LeBron-less Cleveland where he first started. He knows what that looks like. Cleveland without LeBron. You think he wants that? And LeBron has given absolutely zero indication about his future. He signs 1-year contracts. You know.
I think it's already setting up for him to go to the Lakers too.
Yeah. You don't think Kyrie sees that writing on the wall? So what? He's just gonna stick around while LeBron jumps ship?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is a good point. And Kyrie just made it more public.
Mm-hmm.
You know, LeBron's
Wow,
doing more of his stuff behind closed doors. You know, and you can see the writing on the wall, but he's doing his more behind closed doors when he's going to leave, when he's not. And Kyrie went out and made it public. He said, "I want out. I want to be traded."
Oh, he didn't just make it public. He went out. He poured gasoline at midcourt in Quicken Loans Arena, and he set that bitch on fire. Like, that's what he did. And so Dan Gilbert went out and got the corpse of Derrick Rose to already fill his spot. like what do you So they know Kyrie is gonna be elsewhere.
I don't see how.
Oh,
he possibly come back.
There's no way he's come back. No, that is over.
But I don't think it's a character flaw like you asked earlier. Because,
you don't think it is?
No,
you don't think it makes him look like less of a leader? Because he wants to go be a leader. But his antics don't diminish the fact that he could be a leader at the next place he goes.
Well, that's just guys. To me, that's just guys messing around. You know what I mean? You're drunk, drinking at a wedding. You rip on your friends. That's just what guys do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It sounded like he was just laughing in the background.
Yeah. It's not like he was the one doing it. If you made fun of, one of my friends or something, I would probably laugh at it if it was funny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see it as a character flaw.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's pretty funny. Stephen Curry making fun of LeBron James is pretty damn funny. Mm-hmm. But I'm right there with you. I think Kyrie's for one, the man is ice cold. Like, he already hit one of the most iconic shots in NBA history. Not this season, but last, when Cleveland beat Golden State. And he has already shown he's ice cold. And I believe he is going to be a great, great player. And he's going to be out of Cleveland this year. There's going to be a trade. And I know it's probably a pipe dream, but I hope to God that he comes to Detroit. We're not on his list. He wants to go to either New York. He's from New York. He wants to go to New York. That's A1. But there's Miami was on there, Minnesota. Which, what the hell's going on with man? Minnesota's about to be awesome, man. That sucks for us. Minnesota's about to be awesome, man, with everything they got out there. But that's beside the point. But Minnesota's on his list, and I think the Clippers maybe or something, but. I don't know. He's got some teams on there, but man, that trade. Oh, I just hope. It'd
be nice to get him.
It would, and I would. And all this stuff, him forcing a trade out after being in the finals 3 years in a row, that doesn't worry me. Him making fun of a teammate, that does not worry me. None of this worries me. If we could get that man here and lead the Pistons, I would be all for it.
For sure.
Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's our time for tonight. I just want to remind you guys, we're going to be here. We're going to be here a lot. This is the Detroit Sports Sit Down. But we're out here. You can find us on Twitter at DeadSportsENT. Find us on Facebook, Detroit Sports and Entertainment. You can subscribe to this podcast if you hit iTunes by searching Detroit Sports Sit Down, and you can get to our official website, DetroitSportsandEntertainment.com. Dan put up a real nice video package column about Justin Verlander and his most iconic moments as a Tiger, which he still is a Tiger. For how long, we shall see, but hopefully, maybe he'll go out and throw a no-hitter next week. Hopefully he does. But you can see Verlander's top moments, at least in Dan's mind. And you can always email us at DetroitSportsSitDown@gmail.com. We're going to leave you now the same way we're always going to leave you. Some of the greatest sports moments in Detroit history. Joe, Dan, I want to thank you guys for sitting in with me
Thank you.
My name is Tom Murphy Jr., Joe Perry, Dan Murphy. We are the crew at the Detroit Sports Sit Down. Hit us up. We love you. God bless.
He's got it. The Tigers are the champions of 1984. They race on the field of Bob Hernandez. The Tigers have won the World Series. They are the champions of the world in 1984. 4 seconds left. He's got the ball. He should have it.
Begins. 10 seconds away from successfully defending the Stanley Cup. The Detroit Red Wings. Their bench up. Osgood with his arms up over his head coming out. The Detroit Red Wings have won the Stanley Cup for the second year in a row.
The handle. Tinsley Miller. And it's blocked again. Oh. What a block. How did Prince get there? What a block. I didn't think it was any way possible for him to get this shot. He's 10 rows into the crowd. Top of second. The 1-0. Swinging a fly ball. Left field and deep. It's way back. The Tigers are going to the World Series. The Tigers have beat the A's 6-3, completed a 4-game sweep in one of the greatest
The 1-1 to Nix. He swings and he puts it up on the right side. Fielder calling for it, and he makes the catch. World Series bound. The Tigers sweep the Yankees with an 8-1 win.
It's his protection. He'll work out of the gun. Play clock at 3. Matthews got it back, sets, looks, throws. He's got Golden Tate who makes the catch inside the 15, inside the 10, and he's breaking away. He's into the end zone. Pack the bags, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a